like a lot of people and like the markets, I mostly was discounting President Trump on tariffs, thinking they were negotiating tactics that, yes, we're going to get more tariffs on China, but we're not going to get something broad-based on other countries. With each passing day, he's either a better and more credible negotiator than I realized, or actually believes what he's saying and is likely to follow through and do it. So I've gotten more nervous about the actual possibility of tariffs. I think some things like the Fed, he's been better about. Scott Bessent and Kevin Hassett were very reassuring as picks, but I think the big one is the tariffs, which he has a lot of ability to do all on his own.
Tariffs go into just, I guess, a broader conversation of internationalism. I mean, I kind of came up in this business where it was increasing globalization across the board. The world got a lot smaller, in large part thanks to technology. But boy, the last 6, 7, 8, 9 years, not just in the U.S. but around the world, it seems like nationalism is replacing internationalism. Is that something that is a plus or a minus, or how do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, one remarkable thing, you're absolutely right in your diagnosis. But one interesting thing is for the last 10 years, wages have been growing more at the bottom and the middle than they have at the top. We've actually had a compression of wage inequality. We've had, pretty decent income growth over the last decade with some serious ups and downs, especially in the inflationary period. Productivity growth in the United States, at least, has actually picked up. So in a lot of ways, things are working. They're not working perfectly. They're never working perfectly, but they're working pretty well.
On the tax front here, it seems like that likely is going to be something that this administration is going to want to extend the 2017 tax cuts. How do you think that could play out, should play out, will play out?
Oh, look, I think they're going to extend them. The question is for how long. I think that's a real shame. There's a number of people that think you should use what's called the current law baseline, that you shouldn't add to the deficit as measured by CBO. If you extend those tax cuts, you're basically locking in deficits of at least 6% of GDP, probably 8, 9, or 10% of GDP over the coming years. And that's just not a place we should be now. In 2017, I didn't think we could afford the cost of the tax cuts. In 2025, it will be even less affordable given where the debt is, given where interest rates are.